In JavaScript, you can declare variables in three different ways by using var, let, or const. When var is there from very beginning of the language, let and const got introduced as part of ECMAScript 6. So let's see how we can be able to declare variables by using these three ways. So for var, I should be taking var keyword, and I can come up with any kind of valid identifier name. If you are not familiar with identifier, you can refer to my other video. I have clearly defined what exactly is an identifier. So simply I can give any name. For example, I am taking with name, and to name I can initialize any kind of data type value. So it's dynamic type. Basically, when you are assigning any kind of data to a variable, automatically the type will be inferred. So JavaScript is dynamic in nature, so you have to keep that in mind. Now coming to let, I can go ahead with let keyword, and then I can be go with some variable, and then I can assign any kind of value. So here I am assigning a integer value to variable. Now the similar way with const. Const is for constant. So it will be constant throughout your program, and if you are trying to change that one, then you could not be able to do so. It will throw an error. So that we will revisit in a later segment. But for now, just keep in mind that const is also a way of declaring a variable. So I can go ahead with some name again. For example, city, and I'm assigning Bengaluru. Okay. And now we have three different variables. Now, if I will try to redeclare all of three. So for example, let me copy Control C, and I will be pasting just beneath. Can I be able to do so? You can see I can be able to redeclare the var best variable, but not to the let and const. What exactly is the error says? Cannot redeclare block scoped variable age. And the same you will find with city, because city is a const again. So these are block scoped. Let and const are block scoped, whereas your var is function scoped. For the time being, you can say this is a global scoped variable because I don't have put them inside any function or inside any block. So later I will revisit what exactly is block scoped variable and what exactly is function scoped variable. That will be a separate video, but for the time being, just keep in mind that var can be redeclared n number of times as you wish, but that is not possible with let and const. For the time being, I am just commenting this out. So let me comment let and the next line const. If I will try to console.log, and I will be printing name. So what it will print? It will simply print the recent one. So for the time being, I have kept Ram. Let's make it Syam. Okay. So you can see if I will Control S, you can see it's getting Syam. So whatever will be the recent value, that will be given as a output. Now if I will do some sort of modification, if I am introducing a simple block by taking a pair of curly braces, then what will be the behavior? Let me copy these three variables, Control C, and I am pasting the same inside that block. So block is basically a group of statements. So that can be possible in multiple ways. By taking a simple pair of curly braces, you can have a simple block, or you can put it inside any kind of conditional, or you can have function. So in my case, I have not put any kind of conditional or any kind of function. It's just a pair of curly braces, and I am just changing the name to Sita, and this one I am changing to 40, too much old, and this one I am changing to some other city. Right now, if I would like to console log all of three, then what would be the behavior? Okay, let me copy and paste, and you can see if I will run this one, it's printing Sita 39 and Bengaluru. So Sita is inside the block, but still it is overriding Ram. Our var west variable first got overridden by Sam in line number 5 because I redeclare the same variable with same identifier name in the same scope. Now that I have introduced a block level scope and I have again redeclared the same variable inside the block with a new value, it got overridden again. So this is called shadowing. So shadowing will be overriding the value in your outer scope when you are redeclaring the variable with the same name. So we have to avoid shadowing in our program. Because of shadowing in later point of time, accidentally if you will be redeclaring the same variable or some other developer will be accidentally redeclaring the same variable, then the information in that variable will be overridden with the new value. In order to avoid that, we have block level variables. Previously you have seen let and const were throwing error when I am trying to redeclare the same variable name in the same scope by using let and const keyword. But if the scope is different, as I have done here, I have introduced a new block and inside I am trying to redeclare with same identifier name with let and const. Now it is not giving me error. So this is completely valid in JavaScript. And if I would like to get the value of this block scoped variable, then I can be able to access the same inside that specific block. So now for example, if I will be like printing name, age and city, then you can have all those values in your console. So you can see inside this block it's outputting the name, so which is again normal because already it's got overridden from the outer scope. But age and city you can get value 40 and Bhubaneswar inside this block. But the moment when you are coming out of this block and you are trying to access the same variable name, then it's taking the global scoped variable value. So I will revisit block scoped variable and functional scoped variable in greater detail in upcoming video, but for the time being just keep in mind that you have to avoid shadowing and you have to keep in mind where exactly you have to use let and const and where exactly you have to use where. Another thing that you have to keep in mind, both where and let you can be able to initialize n number of times that you wish, but that is not the case with const. After initializing the value, you could not be able to change the const value across the program. You can see I have name and age. I can be able to reassign a new value to name as is happening in line number 5. The same is possible with let. So if I will take age and I will try to assign a new value, I can be able to do so within the same scope. But if I will try to reassign something to city, which is a const type value, then it will not allow me to do so. So for example, if I will be putting some random string inside city, let me clear off this one, and if I am trying to run this one, then you can see it's giving me error, uncut type error, assignment to constant variable. So it's pointing to line number 7. So you should refrain assigning any value to const. But in case of object, you have a different behavior that I will revisit later on. But any kind of primitive value, if you are trying to reassign to a const type variable, you could not be able to do so in JavaScript. Thank you for watching this video. In upcoming video, we will dive deep into hoisting, which is a crucial part of JavaScript that will lead you to understand how the variable behavior will be depending on the place where you are declaring them and accessing them. And we will understand what is temporal dead zone in case of a let and const type variable. So stay tuned, and I hope you are liking the series. And if you have any doubt, I would love to answer them. Please do comment me. I will be happy to answer all your queries and clear all your doubts. Thank you so much. See you in the next session.